Hey everybody, welcome to this video. This video is going to be about the possibility of the NHL finishing the season and the playoffs, and just my ideas of how they might do that, when it might start, and just my ideas about it. And that's all right here at Talking Habs. Yeah, that's my channel where everything's dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. So if you're a hockey fan, a Habs fan, and you want to see more videos like this, head down there and subscribe and ring that notifications bell. That's going to get you your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge right here at Talking Habs. While you're on the way down there to do that, give a thumbs up if you like the video, and leave me any comments about what you think of my ideas and what your ideas would be if you have differing ideas. And okay, so let's get right into it. So there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen because everything's up in the air. We don't know. Are we going to finish? Is the NHL going to finish the regular season? Are they going to be able to even play the playoffs? And if so, how would they go about doing that? And when might that happen? So this is a big thing because if they can't get the rest of the regular season, where there was basically anywhere from 11 to 13 games for depending on the team to go, if they can't get that in, there's a lot of money that's going to be, I guess you could say, lost because they're not going to get it, right? And I heard somewhere in the area of $300-400 million. Now that is going to affect the cap. You have to think, because if each team loses $10-11 million the season because they couldn't finish it, next season for the cap, it's going to come down. If the cap comes down, it's going to mean a lot of problems in filling out a roster because there's already teams that were at the cap at that level, and if they have to go down, you're going to have to get rid of contracts. Even if the cap stays the same, it's going to create a problem for some teams if it doesn't go up at all. So that's a big concern. So they're going to want to do everything they can to get the playoffs in. And there's been talk already, and apparently a proposal by the Players Association of how to get the playoffs and the regular season in, even if they have to play right up until November. Well, not November, but starting the next season as late as November, and playing games in July and August and September. So that, or having September be the draft and all that kind of stuff. So there's already talk about how they might do that. There's talk about how they would play the playoffs. If they just jump right into the playoffs, would there be 24 teams? Would they go right in with 16 teams that are in the playoff spots? But that creates a problem because I know there's at least one wild card spot where there's two teams tied for the second wild card spot. So I don't know, is it fair to give it to one, not the other? There's teams that are really close to getting there, and they have enough games left that they could make it. So I would think it's going to be an expanded playoff format in that there's going to be more teams than 16. Let me see now. Let me see what I wrote here. So, okay, so these are my ideas. I don't think they can. First of all, okay, here's my idea of when they could possibly start. So let's go to that. I was watching something recently on YouTube, and it might have been CNN, but I don't think it was. But it was some kind of news program. They had, I think it was Sanjay Gupta, the doctor, and they had Bill Gates and Anderson Cooper. So it was on Anderson Cooper's show. Okay, so Bill Gates, they asked him when he thinks things might start to get back to normal, where people might start to be able to go back to work and stuff like that. And in a nutshell, he figured mid-June. They've got all kinds of computer stuff. They're figuring this out. And what he figures, he said mid-June. I'm going to take that to heart because I think Bill Gates probably is pretty up on this. And I would think that he knows a lot about this thing that's going on and when it might end, actually, because there are people that kind of know, sort of, because they don't know a ton about this thing. But anyway, so Bill Gates says mid-June. I'm not going to babble on about how they know it. So if they can't get going at all, I mean, going skating, they can't right now. The players aren't even really skating at all. I don't think they are, unless they have a skating rink in their house. They're not skating. So they're going to need some time for training camp. And if it's mid-June, there's not going to be a lot of time left to do it. So what I've done is come up with A plan on how to get the playoffs done, not the regular season. I think you gotta figure the regular season's gone, and how to get the playoffs done if we're only getting back to hockey in mid-June. And give me a second. I got a board, and then we'll talk about it. All right. So if we can get training camps open, or they say that they can get back to going out and doing things by somewhere around mid-June. So this is my idea. I think I'm going to give it June 21st, which is, I think, the summer solstice. So I'm giving it June 21st to start training camp. I would think if they're going to need at least 2 weeks of training camp, they're not going to have skated for months. And hopefully the players are keeping themselves physically fit, which I think they would to work out somehow at home. I'm sure most of them have exercise equipment at home. If not, they can acquire it. So you got 2 weeks. That would take you to July 5th. So say they're ready to go. Now we're going to play the preliminary round. I would think it's going to be a best 2 out of 3. And that could be done all in 4 days. July 6th, so the day after training camp breaks. July 6th, 7th, you play. July 8th, you don't. And July 9th, you play. Best 2 out of 3. By July 9th, it's all done. Now you get into, okay, let's get into who will be playing. This is my idea of who might play. The wild card teams. Well, also wait. I actually had a wild card teams in the next 8 teams, but it doesn't work out because it leaves you 12 teams, so 6 series, which comes. It just doesn't work out, right? You need to come down to where after the preliminary round, you're going to have 16 teams left. So the top 2 teams in each division have a bye. They don't play. Third place and the wild card teams and the next 8 teams that still had a chance to make the playoffs. So basically the top 6 teams in each division. And that gets you down to 16 teams after the preliminary because you'd have 8 series. First of all, you got 8 teams waiting. You'd have 8 series, which will give you 8 winners that go against the other 8 teams, and you're back to 16 teams. So I think that would work out that way, right? So round 1 would begin July 11th. Since the preliminary round is finishing on the 9th, you get a day off, and then you start. It's going to be pretty condensed. You're playing July 11th and 12th, off the 13th. Playing 14th and 15th, off the 16th. Anyways, that gets you, by the way, yeah, you do 2, 2, and then it's 1, 1, 1. Just like the old days. It used to be like that in the old days. It was 2 games in the, let's say Montreal finished first overall, right? So 2 games in Montreal, 2 games in their opponent, then 1, 1, 1. That used to be, and then they started going days in between. Anyway, round 2, July 23rd, 2 days after first round ends, goes to August 2nd. Round 3, August 4th, goes to August 14th. And the finals go August 16th to August 26th. So depending on how long the series take, for the finals might be a few days earlier. But these basically, unless all the teams are finished in 4 games, you're not going to start early, right? So if the games, there's at least one series that goes 7 games, this is how long it's going to take. September 2nd, NHL Awards, which are basically a week after the season ends, and that's basically kind of what they do after the playoffs end. September 9th, NHL Entry Draft, so that's a week after the awards. So you give 2 weeks in between to the NHL Free Agency, September 23rd, and you have a quick turnaround there where you have only 3 weeks in between where they usually have a couple of months. 3 weeks in between, and you're in training camp. October 15th, you open camp. Because the players have recently come off playing, I think that you can have a shorter camp than you would normally have, and you have a 2-week camp again that gets you maybe just a little over 2 weeks, but you start off October 15th. November 1st, the season starts, and there you go. And you have a bit of a condensed season, and what I mean by that is like, sorry, I'm off camera there. In like a year where the league, the NHL's players were in the Olympics, so they would have a couple of weeks off, and they condensed the season in adding an extra game a week here and there, so the player maybe an extra back-to-back game, set, like that kind of stuff. And you do that, and you can finish the season on time. And for 2021-22, you're normal. Now, I heard something about maybe delaying the Seattle draft. I didn't really get into it, so I don't know why they would do that, because they're not coming in next season. It's the 2021-22 season, I believe. So if they can finish this on time, there should be no reason why they can't keep that draft going. But now I may be wrong on this because I didn't go and research this before I'm doing this. It's something I heard in a video, but I didn't pay attention to. It just, that stuck in my head. So I don't know. Anyways, that's my idea for how to get the playoffs in. If the starting date is June 21st, like I said, I took my advice from Bill Gates, who thinks it'll be mid-June till things are back to normal, where you can start having sports and you can start going back regular to work and all that. It might take that long. So this video is based on that. So hopefully you liked it. If you did, give a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And head down there, subscribe, ring that notifications bell. That'll get you videos like this. If you're a Habs fan, if you're just an NHL fan, yeah, I don't even remember how to end it, from Talking Habs. Daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. That's how I do it. So thanks, everybody, for watching. Please stay safe. Stay inside. Wash your hands a lot. My hands are raw. And everybody be healthy. Thanks, everybody, for watching again. Thank you. Peace out. See you next video.